Hello and welcome to Acoustic Review. My name is Ben Morgan Brown and today I'm looking at the One for Street battery powered amplifier from Acus Sound Engineering. The One for Street is an 80-watt amplifier with a 6-inch woofer and a compression tweeter. It's constructed of birch plywood, weighs 15 kilograms and is available in either black or wood finish. The mixer section features 2 independent channels, both with a 470k instrument/line input, gain control, 3-band EQ and effect level. Channel 2 also features a 1K mic input to which phantom power can be supplied. There is also an auxiliary input in the form of a 3.5mm input on the rear of the amplifier and a master and auxiliary volume plus a post EQ DI out complete the mixer section features. The built-in battery charges from the mains, with Acus suggesting 7 hours of continuous use available from a full charge, and the amplifier has a street price of £699.99. For the purpose of this review, I'm using my Collins OM with a K&K Pure Mini pickup installed. So let's have another listen to the amplifier now, and then please join me afterwards for my thoughts.
It's another year over. Nobody told you the world doesn't sit back and wait for your life to get going. There's no way of knowing. There's only so much of yourself you can make. No records, no photographs, no honors, no autographs.
First impressions of the One for Street is that it's definitely better looking than a lot of acoustic amplifiers. The combination of wood finish and matte black metal grille give it a high-end hi-fi look, which is in contrast to the black box stylings of most other amps. The handle is well placed for carrying the amp, but on lifting it up it becomes immediately apparent that the built-in battery adds a fair amount of weight and also throws the balance off as well. It's not ridiculously heavy, but it's certainly heavy enough that I wouldn't want to have to carry it in one hand whilst also carrying a guitar in the other. If you are planning on taking this amp out into the street to busk, I'd hazard a guess you'd need to pick up a trolley or something similar if you were taking it long distances. The mixer section is recessed, which should help avoid damage to the knobs, and it is logically laid out with really clear settings indicators built into the knobs themselves, which is a nice touch. One thing that did catch me out at first is that the controls aren't in the normal bass, middle, treble order, but with treble first and bass last. But that aside, everything on the amp is very easy to use. One small annoyance is that although there are lights to indicate that mains power is present, that the battery is charging, and a low battery warning, if you are using mains power, there's nothing to indicate if the amp is on or not. The power light remains on regardless of the on-off switch setting. It's a little niggle, but it's one of those things that might catch you out at a gig. Plugging in, I was immediately impressed by the warmth and natural tone. I feel the K&K does a good job of representing the dynamics and woodiness of my guitar, and although that often comes across well through a PA, it's not always the case through an amplifier, but I felt the One for Street presented my plugged-in sound in a flattering and pleasing manner without overhyping the tone. I often combine my pickup with an internal microphone, and when I set that rig up, I was pretty much in plugged-in heaven. The sound from the pickup was warm and fat, and the amp carried the detail from the microphone beautifully. For this review, you're hearing the pickup by itself, as my external preamp probably adds some colour, but even so I think the one for street does a great job with the pickup alone. The 3-band EQ allowed me to quickly dial out a bit of woofiness in the bass and add some sparkle to the top end, and the built-in reverb added just enough space without getting too cavernous. On vocals, I was again impressed by the depth of sound and clarity. Some other amplifiers can make vocals sound a bit pinched or boxy, but there was none of this in the Acus. Recently, my preferred setup for small gigs has actually been a single condenser mic covering both guitar and vocals, and once I engaged the phantom power, this also sounded great through this amplifier and made me realise it's actually more akin to a small single speaker PA than to a regular acoustic amp. Switching between mains and battery power, I didn't notice any change in the performance, and although I didn't get the chance to test out the advertised battery life, there is the option of powering the amp from an external battery as well, so I would hope it would cover all eventualities. I'm struggling to find anything to criticise on this amp. Admittedly, the extreme settings on the reverb are not to my taste, and it seems quite heavy considering it's marketed as for the street, but the sound and solid build quality speak for themselves. I don't know how the wood finish would hold up cosmetically after some hard gigging, and I feel that Acus could at the very least include a cover to help in that respect, but otherwise it's top marks from me. As a gigging acoustic guitarist, there's often a sense of compromise when it comes to getting a satisfying plugged-in tone. Nothing ever sounds just like my guitar but louder, and if you're playing in restaurants or small clubs where full PA isn't available, smaller acoustic amplifiers often sacrifice some quality of sound in order to gain portability. Whilst the Acus is not the most portable option out there, I genuinely feel that the increase in sound quality is worth a little extra inconvenience in terms of weight. At £699.99, the one for street is competitively priced compared to the obvious rivals with similar features and power ratings. With the addition of battery-powered operation and of course a rich and natural sound, the Acus starts to look very attractive compared to other amps on the market, none of which offer this quality of sound with the portability of battery power at this price point. I hope you've enjoyed this video from Acoustic Review. Please subscribe to keep up to date with new videos, and I look forward to seeing you next time.